most men treating performance issues are only solving half the problem. I mean, Viagra works, Cialis works, but all they do is manage blood flow. And blood flow has nothing to do with desire. And that gap between the plumbing and the brain, that's where most treatment protocols fall apart. But there are two compounds that address both. One you've heard of, one you probably haven't: oxytocin and PT-141. One was discovered by accident during a tanning experiment gone sideways. The other one is one of the most misread molecules in your entire body. But when you stack them together, you get something most doctors have never heard of, much less thought to combine, because one treats what happens from the neck down and the other treats what happens above it. Oxytocin is called the cuddle chemical, the love hormone. While that's not technically wrong, it completely misses what the molecule actually does. Oxytocin is a trust signal. When your brain releases it, it's making a decision. It's saying this person is safe. The walls come down, cortisol drops. It's the hormone that bonds two people together. It establishes a real connection, not just physical proximity, because desire doesn't start in the body, it starts in the brain. Now on to PT-141, which has a very unique history in itself. It was the late 1980s. University of Arizona. Two researchers are trying to develop a sunless tanning agent for skin cancer prevention, a peptide that triggers melanin without the sun. So they synthesize melanotan-2 and they run trial studies. And the tanning? It actually worked. The subject's skin darkened, but something else happened too. Unintended consequences, you might say. 9 out of 10 of the male volunteers in the study started reporting spontaneous, intense sexual desire. And that's in a clinical setting. There's no partners, no porn, just sitting there getting horny. And that accidental discovery changed the whole direction of the program. If melanotan could do this as a side effect, they asked the question any man would ask: could we engineer a version that skips the tanning part and goes straight for the libido? And that became PT-141, which, by the way, not only works for men, but also works for women. In fact, it's technically only FDA approved for women. So now you know why stacking both oxytocin and PT-141 together covers both sides of the equation. Because oxytocin, it handles the physiological layer, which is the emotional trust. At PT-141, it fires the animalistic desire, because one without the other is just a half-assed solution. But together, they do something no other single pharmaceutical has managed to do. And it must be your lucky day, because this combination is now available at my hormone replacement therapy clinic, Viking Alternative Medicine. And it's for both men and women in 48 states, because getting old is inevitable. But being able to have sex but not really wanting to, that's a choice.